Hello guys, welcome back to your Falcom news roundup for May. I wanted to wait till the end of June for this, but there was a lot of Kuro news during the month. Massive thank you to the man himself Hansuke, as most of the information comes directly or indirectly from him. Let's get started. As always, we will start with the merchandise, and bear in mind for the Japanese sites you'll most likely need to use a proxy site for international delivery like Treasure Japan unless stated otherwise. First of all, we're going to be starting with characterseal.com or charain.com. I'm going to put the link in the description, you decide the name of it. We mentioned them in a previous video as a website that sells a wide array of Hajimari related goods, and now they're also selling acrylic blocks. From what the product description says, they're around 15 cm in width and 10 cm in height with a 2 cm density. So just imagine this image but on its side to get an idea. It's an item of notable girth at the very least. Naturally, they're not just limited to acrylic blocks, there are other items there too for the game, but I will warn you to beware of Hajimari spoilers if you have not played it yet. That goes for the next two mentions as well. Now onto something I didn't even know existed. Yahoo Shopping Japan has a full site dedicated to Trails goods, ranging from Cold Steel 1 to Tokyo Xanadu, and they do stuff like mugs, holographic cards in sets, and acrylic blocks as well. In the same vein of merchandise, OmniShop, who recently had some pretty cool LED acrylic stands of Tio and Wazi back in December, are also running a special promotion where if you purchase over 3,000 yen's worth of goods, you will get a free bookmark of either Van or Agnes from Kuro no Kiseki. Not a bad motivator for what that's worth. Finally, onto Curtain Damashi. On top of the wide array of Falcon goods already available, they are also selling wireless chargers with the likes of Tio, Altina, Reen and Crow. And you might not even have to use a proxy site here, as they are now selling some of their items via Amazon Japan, meaning that they can now ship internationally. Moving on to Pinbox now, of course they were very busy last month showing off their potential plans for the SSS, but they've also linked an image of another pin in production. Take a guess who this one is. I haven't seen any sort of concrete date, but Pinbox do have a release timetable on their website where you can also see the wide array of pins available for both Trails and Ys. And finally, the Kotobukiya figures that we knew were in the works. For the past couple of months, we've been treated to the beautiful prototype of Altina, but nothing on Reen. Well, that has all changed now, as not only do we have the finished version for Altina, but we were also shown the prototype for Reen as well. No pre-orders have gone up as of yet, but apparently, Altina is due to be up for pre-order sometime this year, while Reen is yet to be decided. Keep an eye on this one, I know that I definitely don't want to be missing out. Now moving on to a collaborative livestream between Clouded Leopard Entertainment and Falcom that took place on May the 28th. With the voice actor of Uses acting as host, they had a 45-minute segment to go over some key information regarding not only upcoming ports, but approximate release dates regarding Nayuta no Kiseki Kai and Kuro no Kiseki, of which we will touch on in the last segment of the video. We know that Japan and Asia are getting Switch ports of Cold Steel 1 and 2 in July and August respectively, and that they're also getting Hajimari on Switch and PC on the 26th of August. They were basically reaffirming those dates for the first segment. In terms of Japanese pre-orders for Sen 1 and 2, we saw those tapestries available from the likes of Wondergoo last month, and now it looks like Army and Stellarworth have also joined in, with acrylic stands of Elisa and Reen for the former and bromide paper images for the latter. Referring to the bromide papers, you get the full male cast of the original Class 7 with Sen 1, and this split image of Crow and Reen with their Divine Knights for Sen 2. People who have the Decisive and Relentless editions of Cold Steel 1 and 2 will realise these images are the same as the ones from the steel cases. Moving on to the second segment and Nayuta no Kiseki Kai. First of all, there were a few more wallpapers made available for its upcoming release. It's getting a Japanese release on the 24th of June, which we're already aware of, but Clouded Leopard Entertainment have also confirmed that it is due for release in full for wider Asian markets. And we were sort of hinted into this as we could see an image of Nayuta's official artwork on the CLE website before the stream. It's then moved on to Kuro no Kiseki information, but we will cover that in our final segment for those who want to avoid that information. Away from the stream now, it looks like the third Erebonian title is also getting a mobile version for iOS and Android for the likes of Taiwan, Macau and Hong Kong, noted as Sen no Kiseki Free Online. This will be releasing in August, developed by Yimi Interactive Entertainment and distributed by Wanda Cinema Games. Apparently, the premises is that you will be playing as a new student in the Falls Branch campus and play through the events of Cold Steel 3. Now, I don't want to be pessimistic here guys, but let's be honest, this looks god awful. The promotional art alone should be enough to give you an idea of the amount of effort going into this. It's a literal photoshopped image with Class 7 members put on top. I mean, what is Kurt doing? And the gameplay. Oh god, the gameplay. Look at all those pixels. It looks like Tio's gonna have to work on this one if it's gonna have to have any hope of succeeding, but I'm not holding out any hope for this one. However, a game I am looking forward to is Trails to Azure. Last month, the Geofront stated that the patch was very close to release, and on May the 22nd, it indeed was made available on the Geofront website. I have the patched version installed for a back-to-back run of the Crossbow arc after finishing Tales of Vesperia, and I intend to stream this as well, so keep an eye out for a link in the near future. As for installing the patch, it's pretty much the same premise as Zero. You download the game files and the patch, which is all available on the Geofront's website, run the executable, which will install the game and the patch with it, and there you go, you have Trails to Azure. A full step-by-step guide is available on the Geofront's website, along with a visual guide on how to purchase it so you can support the developer. And finally, let's go over Kuro no Kiseki. As always, here's the timestamp if you want to skip. Back on May the 10th, we were made aware that the latest Famitsu article would be showing new Kuro no Kiseki information, and sure enough on the 12th, we were treated to 2 new characters. Up till this point, we had the likes of Van, Agnes, Ferry and Aaron all revealed to us, and in this article we got information on Quatre Solution, Robot Dog, and Lisette Twinning. On top of that, we got a bit more information on Zypher, consolidated with a translated image of the UI by Neko Dave. And we also found out about the last disciple of Epstein, officially named as Latoya Hamilton. We also got a bit of information on the city of Basel, we're not talking about the Swiss city here, which is the home of the Verne Company, plus a small glimpse of the trade city known as Longport. But that was not all. On the 26th of May, Famitsu were back with Kuro information once again, this time giving us the final 2 characters, some new locations, and an official Japanese release date for Kuro no Kiseki. Let's start with that release date, which is touted as the 30th of September for PlayStation 4, so we also have our platform decided as well. It's about what I expected after the Hajimari release last year. As for the locations, we have a few more images of what appears to be a film studio, because we know Calvert is involved in the film industry, and a casino house Mulan. And in regards to the final 2 characters, we were introduced to Judith Ranster, who is described as a top actress, and Burgard Zeman, who is a master of the Kunlun style, who also happens to be a benefactor of Van himself. And yes, the fandom went pretty crazy over Judith, but there was also some theories going around in regards to Burgard too. I'm not going to mention those for spoiler reasons, and I'm sure if you were interested, you would seek them out yourself. To be honest, they're not that difficult to find. Not only that, but we also got our full list of voice actors, and it looks like Falcom went all out. I'm going to state the actors' names and some notable roles that you might recognise them from. For Van Arkride, we have Daisuke Ono, who is the voice of Jotaro from Stardust Crusaders. I mean, that's pretty cool already. For Agnes Cloudel, we have Miko Ito, who voices the best girl from Quintessential Quintuplets. Yui Ogura takes up the mantle for Ferry Al-Fayed. You might recognise her voice from Kishiku Gakko no Juliet. Aaron Wei is voiced by Yuma Uchiha, who is Kyo Soma from Fruits Basket. Great anime by the way, I would recommend it. Yui Ishikawa takes the role of Reset Twinnings, who voices Mikasa Ackerman from some completely unknown Titan-slaying anime. You might also recognise her as the voice of 2B in Nier Automata. Mutsumi Tamura voices Quatre Solution, you may recognise her work from Naruto Shippuden as Hatake, and Judith is voiced by Yoko Hikasa, and I dare say many will recognise her from her role as Mio in K-On! As of yet though, Burgard's voice actor has yet to be confirmed. So yeah, a very strong lineup of voice actors for sure, but these reveals of the characters and their voice actors were not just limited to the new, we also got a glimpse of the returning characters. As said before, CLE and Falcom had a collaborative livestream on the 28th of May, and in the final segment it was announced that not only was Kuro no Kiseki due for an Asian release in winter 2021, but we also got images of some familiar faces. We were treated to Jack and Hal from Sky the Third, who some will also recognise as key characters in the in-game novel Gambler Jack. We got Sao Lee showing off some more of his fancy martial arts, and also an image of Killika. No Zin yet though, I'm holding out hope he'll get some love soon. Finally, there was a little bit more shown of the hybrid combat system employed by Kuro, with emphasis put on the words seamless transition by Kondo. According to him, you can play the game with either of these systems, it's completely up to the player. So if you're not into ARPG-centric combat, you can play it all in the command style and vice versa. That's going to be interesting to see, and it's drawing me in more and more as the release date nears. And there it is, guys, your May Falcom News Roundup is complete. I hope you have a good rest of your weekend. I know I will, since we're the champions of Europe! And I'll see you again soon. Peace.